Hey guys, welcome to Craft Time. Today we're going to be making a sunburst wreath. So for this craft you're going to need either a wooden craft circle like I have, or if you didn't want to buy anything, you could probably cut one out of cardboard. You just want something that's a little bit sturdier, and you kind of want it to be flat too. I'm also using a hot glue gun, and then you also need scissors, a ruler, or a tape measure. And then I have a bunch of gold straws. But the example I saw used bamboo straws, but you could really use any straws that you like, whatever colors you want. And you're gonna need quite a bit of them. I'll do a count at the end to see how many I used. But let's go ahead and get started. So I've heated up my hot glue gun, and then kind of like you see on this one, there's little holes. And this is gonna help me kind of mark where I need to put the straws at first. So you're gonna start it off like making quadrants, so do 4 straws. And when you're putting them on, you want them to come to the edge right there, like where my thumb is. And then you'll just have them go up like that out. And so I'm gonna add some hot glue to that section where I wanna put it. And then I'm gonna make sure the straw kind of gets lined up in the right spot. And then you just wanna make sure that everything sets, and you let the glue dry. So I'm gonna do that for the 4 quadrants, and then we'll keep adding them kind of all the way around. And we're gonna add some that are different lengths. And so I will show you that when we get to it. That's why we need our scissors and a ruler. But I like this craft because I just dropped a glue stick. You again, kind of like we've done a craft before where you use old paper napkins you already have. If you have straws from a party or something, you can use those. You can use cardboard if you don't want to get a craft circle. But this is a fun way to like be able to decorate your house with something that you've made, and it really doesn't take a lot of skill, obviously, because I'm doing it. And you can customize it to whatever colors you like. And kind of the idea with adding the next straw is to just cut in half the quadrant that you just did. And mine's helpful because it already has the circles kind of spaced equally apart. And so that kind of helps me get started. And I hope you guys can see this well. I always have trouble with my camera. All right, so this is what it looks like so far, and you'll definitely have to get rid of all the hot glue strings. And you are gonna do this so you have 32 of these straws. And so I'm gonna keep just cutting each section in half and adding them until I've done 32 straws. And then I will check back with you for our next step. All right guys, so here's mine with 32 straws. It already looks super cool. And so our next step is I'm gonna take some of my gold straws I haven't used yet, and I'm gonna measure them out to about 6.5 inches. And you're just gonna cut a bunch of those up. So I have some of those here. I may need to do more. And then I did some more to about 5 inches. And I have those here. And we're just gonna start adding them in between all of our sections. And so doing maybe a 6.5 and a 5, 6.5 and a 5, and just kind of go all the way around. So I'll do a couple of those just to show you what it'll look like. And then, I'm a professional. Okay, so we're gonna do And if you want, you can go around and do all the 6 1/2. This glue, man. And then go back and do all the 5s. I just want to make sure I'm doing mine correctly, and then, yeah, I think that'll work. There is going to be a little bit of the craft circle showing through. I don't think it'll matter once we're done, but we'll kind of see how that goes. So I'll do one more real quick, and then we'll have a kind of an idea of what. Okay. All right, so you guys can see that, this section right here, that's what it'll look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those, and I will show you guys when it's done. All right, guys, I'm getting close to being done. I just wanted to jump on here real quick. This is super fun. This is probably one of my favorite crafts that I've done, because it doesn't require a lot. It's not hard to do, and I think it's gonna be super cool looking. And you kind of get into a rhythm of it, and it's actually very relaxing. There were a few spots where I didn't get it perfectly even, and so there's sections where there's more of a gap in between the straws, but I don't think it'll be super noticeable once it's all done. And I would say if you want to paint or do anything to the craft circle before you add the straws to it, that way it doesn't really matter if the craft circle shows through. I don't think I'll care, but in case you wanted to do that before you get started. All right, so I think that's all done. Kind of scared to touch it because I don't want to break it, but there we go. Isn't that cool? So this would be really fun to hang, just hang up on the wall. I don't think you'd want to hang it up on outside your front door just because it wouldn't last very long, and with the weather and stuff, it would probably ruin all the straws. But I think this would look really cool on a wall. I'm gonna try to show you how it looks on my wall over here, just because to show kind of the contrast of it. It's super pretty. I love the gold straws. Again, if I did this again or made one for somebody, I'd probably paint or do something to the craft circle behind. But just for myself, I don't mind at all, because it makes such a statement on its own with the gold. But yeah, I hope you guys make this and find it as fun as I did. Because again, super cheap to make, really fun and relaxing process. It's not stressful at all. And this is something I think teens would really like to do to decorate their room, or you could hang it up. Adults can hang it up because I'm obviously doing it. But this is something that your kids can help you with too, especially if they're learning to measure stuff. This is a really good project for that. So thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you later. Just kidding, guys, I have more to say. I wanted to let you know I ended up using around 96 straws. So you need quite a few. I got one with 150 in it, so I actually had ones left over. So you could use those straws for something else. Another thing I wanted to mention is that when you're trimming all the straws, you actually end up with a bunch of little pieces of different lengths. So like those are the 2 different lengths I had. So ideally you could make a miniature one of these if you had a little small circle that you wanted to do, or if you didn't have a structure, you could probably figure out how to just kind of arrange them, glue them all together, and then if you needed to add like some sort of material like felt or something behind it just to connect everything, you could do that. But I think that would be really cute if you had like a really large one like this, and then little miniature ones with your leftover straws that you had. That way you're not wasting a bunch of stuff either. And so that's all I have. Thank you guys for joining us.